required, that is fire, medical, security. Name and badge ID number. Repeat until they tell you it's clear. The event of an emergency, we have an alarm system in place. Let's familiarize ourselves with the different alarm signals and their meanings. Starting with stop work alarm. Disaster alarm. Combustible gas release. H2S gas release. When you hear any of these alarms, stop your work immediately and follow the emergency evacuation procedure. Look at the windsock to know the direction of the wind. Always move upwind, crosswind of the wind direction, to ensure moving away from the hazardous gas direction. In case of an emergency, calmly proceed to the nearest assembly point. Stay together as a group and wait for further instructions from your designated emergency response personnel. Finally, when you hear this siren, it indicates that it is safe to return to work. Next, before starting any job, obtain a work permit from your supervisor. This ensures that potential hazards are identified and necessary safety measures are in place. There are 4 types of work permits. Cold work permit. Cold work permit is to control work activities which will not produce sufficient energy to ignite flammable atmospheres or combustible material, but could contribute to an undesirable event. Hot work permit. Hot work permit is to control work activities that may produce sufficient energy to ignite flammable atmospheres or combustible materials in restricted areas. Confined space work permit. A confined space work permit authorizes and controls work activities conducted within confined spaces. Confined spaces are areas that are not designed for continuous occupancy and have limited means of entry and exit. Examples of confined spaces in a gas plant can include storage tanks, vessels, pipelines, and underground vaults. Equipment opening line break work permit. Opening line break permit is to ensure that proper planning and precautions are taken during work activities associated with the initial opening of equipment. Always follow the instructions provided in the required work permit. Let's discuss the proper use and maintenance of tools. Inspect your tools before use and report any defects. Use the appropriate tools for each task and follow the established safety procedures, ensuring adhering to the following procedures. Required work permits when using hand tools and power tools shall be obtained. Appropriate personal protective equipment, PPE, shall be worn at all times when using hand tools and power tools. For example, hard hat, safety glasses, slash goggles, hearing protection, safety shoes, gloves, face shield. Personnel shall not operate any tools unless they are appropriately trained in their selection, use, inspection, and storage. Tools constructed of good quality materials shall be used. Use of homemade tools is prohibited. Moving on, be aware of heat stress hazards and its symptoms, which can be caused by the following: fatigue and weakness, excessive sweating, dizziness or lightheadedness, high temperatures, humidity, physical exertion. Monitor the heat stress index to know the appropriate mitigations for the weather conditions, such as the frequency of taking breaks and drinking water and staying in shade. Let's talk about working at heights. Working at heights poses unique risks. Always use a harness whenever you work above 1.2 meters. Your harness will have 2 clips used to fully secure you in place. To move around an elevated platform, never unclip both clips at the same time. To safely move, only detach 1 clip at a time as you move to the desired location. Offshore unit is one of 7 units in J&J LFD. Going to offshore is throat trestle that is 14 kilometers long. There are several aspects that are unique about offshore. Firstly, the hazard of falling into the sea. Controlling the hazard of falling into the sea will include a swimming course is mandatory for all permanent offshore unit workers. There is a life ring, a life jacket, and an emergency ladder. Another aspect to consider in case of an emergency is the evacuation plan. Evacuation from offshore is different than other units due to the restrictions of location and space. There is two assembly area in offshore. Helipad assembly area, hash 72. MD-6 assembly area, hash 8. When driving within the trestle as you head offshore, in normal operation the priority is for exiting vehicles. Please avail the road for exiting cars. While in case of an emergency, lights will flash along the trestle road. In that case, road priority will be for emergency responders vehicles heading offshore. Avail the road to the responders immediately. J&GLFD follow the International Ship and Port Facility Security Code in its facility. Please follow the security levels as directed by your supervisor. There are three levels of security. Security level 1, the level at which the ship or port facility normally operates. It means the level for which minimum appropriate protective security measures shall be maintained all times. Security level 2. It means the level for which appropriate additional protective security measures shall be maintained for a period of time as a result of heightened risk. Security level 3. It means the level for which further specific protective security measures shall be maintained for a limited period of time. Your safety is our utmost priority at the Joyma Natural Gas Liquid Plant. By adhering to the safety policies, procedures, and guidelines we've covered, we can create a secure environment for everyone. Remember, if you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out to your supervisor or the safety department. Thank you for your attention and welcome to our team. Let's work together to ensure a safe and productive workplace.